Fox demons also have emotions. Mandarin Duck Play Introduction. The third part of the Fox demons also have emotion series. Yecheng was originally a principled and persistent person who was gentle and courteous. When he was young, he went down to earth for fun and was accidentally shot by an arrow set by a hunter, unable to move. At the moment of despair, a fairy appeared to heal her wounds. When the humans and foxes parted ways, it was unknown who had touched the mechanism again. In an instant, 10,000 arrows flew out of the fairy to block the arrows and dispel them. You're far away from my brother, you're already very polite. You are listening at novel full.audio. The ice and fire scattered in Yecheng's body have entered his heart meridian, and coupled with the poison accumulated from tasting hundreds of herbs for many years, he has only survived until now. It has been quite difficult. It's not important anymore, who calls him stupid. We've used all the methods we can think of. He's just stubborn and unwilling to accept his weakness, and we brothers can't do anything about him. No, do you have any good way to save your poor brother? Just treat me as a brother, please. Yecheng, don't say that. You don't ask for anything. I have a close friendship with Yecheng as our life and death brothers. You are his second brother, which is also my second brother. You are brothers and want to save him. Yecheng is also my brother, and I also want to save him. I won't stand idly by and see death without saving him. I have promised my godfather to take good care of you Yecheng, not to break his promise, and not to see death without saving him. But to save Yecheng, I have no good way. The best way now is to get the ice and fire powder antidote. Although this antidote can't have much effect, I believe in the vastness of the world and all things. There must be things that complement each other, and only with an antidote can we find one and buy more time. Brother, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Are you all hiding something from me? What's wrong with brother Yecheng? Why don't you find a way to save him quickly? We don't have anything to hide from you, and you can't be of any help. Miss Sue, I just have one request now. I hope you stay away from my younger brother and don't get too close to him. Hui looked at the bewildered girl in front of him with a cold expression in his eyes, and said coldly. Upon hearing this, the girl felt a blank slate in her mind and held on to her sworn brother, also Yecheng's sworn brother city god, pleading, Brother, can you tell me what's going on? What exactly happened? What are you talking about? Yecheng is extremely poisonous and has entered his heart and blood. Shiran, forgive me for not daring to tell you for so long. This is what Yecheng refused to let us tell you. Yecheng, he threatened me not to tell you, and if I dare to tell you, he will break off with me. You are my sister, and Yecheng is also my brother. It is a dilemma for me to make a decision. I don't want to lose my brother, nor do I want you to worry. So I stood on my side. I'm sorry, sister. The girl heard it as if she was a bolt from the blue, her body limped and stumbled, and she collapsed to the ground. Her eyes were momentarily lifeless and she was stunned like a chicken. Sister, please don't do this. Cheer up and don't scare me. Please believe me, I will find a way to cure Yecheng, otherwise I, as the city god, won't do it properly. Hui felt a bit sad and ridiculous as he looked at Su Shiran in such an instant. No, let's not worry about her. There's not much time left. Wu also looked at Hui and Yecheng, who was lying motionless in bed with a pale face, and said to Mei Shiran, Sister, don't be sad. I'll go back and find a solution, and I'll definitely find the medicine as soon as possible. After finishing, they got up and hurriedly left. Hui glanced expressionlessly, and Shiran, who was paralyzed on the ground, said to his fourth brother, Sun Ji. Fourth brother, please pull this woman out for me. I don't want to see her. She's not qualified to stay here either. But Sun Ji only glanced at second brother. He didn't move and said, Why, didn't you hear me? Pull this woman out for me, I don't want to see her. Second brother, don't be so calm. I'm very calm, ask you to pull this woman out of me. Why are you not allowed to move? Hui, why did you drive Shiran away? Because this is my brother's place, I don't want to see this woman. Whenever I see her, I get annoyed. Now I want to invite her out, away from my brother, out of my sight. What if this princess doesn't allow it? What's Shiran's mistake? Yes, she's right. It's my silly little brother who was wrong. If it weren't for my brother, he wouldn't be lying still now. He was wrong because he shouldn't have saved this woman. We were also wrong because we didn't stop and drive away this woman in time. All of us present have a responsibility. Nonsense, what's wrong with Miss Su? None of us want to see such a result. He didn't tell us himself, who's to blame? He deserves it. With Princess Ben around, who dares to touch Shiran? Hu Feng's aunt, Princess Dingning Qi Shuqian, arrogantly blocked Su Shiran in front of the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. What are you saying? You deserve it. Princess Qi, my younger brother has become like this today. Do you think you don't have any responsibility, princess? You said that Tang Shi, the top scorer who matched her, is where he is now. Why is this woman facing difficulties? It's my foolish younger brother who stands in front of her. This foolish kid in our family has his heart set on the bright moon, but where does the bright moon shine? You say it. Whose emotions and resentment, which had accumulated for a long time upon hearing the word deserved, erupted in an instant. He pointed to Shiran on the ground and pushed Qi Shuqian to the ground. Qi Shui stood up from the ground, lowered her head, and lost the momentum she had just had. How did I know it would be like this? I don't want it to be like this either, she said. Silly fox, can you calm down? No one wants this. Princess Shui didn't mean to. Qing Feng. I'm very calm, I just don't want to see this woman again, I just want to invite her out. I've been very polite to her. Because it's not anyone else lying there, it's my younger brother. We got married, and although it's fake, even if you don't admit it. In name, you're also my wife. Yecheng, he's also your younger brother, and even if we don't have any relationship, we're still classmates. Yecheng is your senior brother, how can you help outsiders speak? Hu Yi roared at Qing Feng. Qing Feng was quite frightened, and his whole body froze, looking at Hu Yi at a loss. At this moment, Shiran, who collapsed on the cold ground, suddenly felt powerless and said in a hoarse voice, "Stop making noise. Everyone is right. It's my fault. I shouldn't be here." Speaking, Shiran pulled off the silver hairpin from his head, wanting to end his life, but Hui quickly used magic to snatch the silver hairpin from his hand. Do you think I dare not? Why can't it be me? You are listening at novelfull.audio. What do you want to do? Do you want to die so easily? I'll tell you, you can't think of it. It's not easy to harm my brother like this. I want to die. Brother Hui, please kill me. Hee, I'll kill you. It's easy to say. It's not easy for you to want to die, you don't have the qualifications yet. You want to finish everything, don't dream. My foolish younger brother was still lying there because of you. If you want to die, you can ask my younger brother to get up and ask him if he agrees to let you die. My younger brother, this foolish kid, has been trying to protect you from any harm since he met you as a woman. He has made himself covered in bruises and bruises, not immortal, not human, not demon, not ghost. He is a war god in our demon world, experienced in countless battles. In times of great war and poverty, he is not as fierce as a wolf. Awkward. Ever since I met you, a destitute and dusty young lady, in order to always take care of you, I have injured myself to the point where I have no regrets or grievances. You have repeatedly stabbed a sword in his heart and sprinkled salt on his wound. You are now fully devoted to seeking death, which is quite satisfying. Do you deserve his genuine love for you? Do you know that he gave you all his heart-protecting inner pills, which he cultivated with him? After giving them to you, it is equivalent to giving his life to you in order to save you. Your life belongs to my younger brother. If you want to die, you can ask my foolish younger brother if he agrees to let you die when he wakes up. Hui angrily cursed Shiran on the ground, his words mixed with resentment towards his fifth brother Yecheng. Shiran was so ashamed of being scolded by Hui that he collapsed on the cold ground. Crying pear blossoms with rain, unable to bear the pain, wholeheartedly seeking death. Hui, please kill me. It's my fault that I caused Yecheng to be like this. I have no face to live and don't want to live anymore. Please kill me, give me a good time, so that I can accompany Yecheng. Do you think I dare not? Hui angrily took out his matching sword, with the starry sword pointing at Shiran. The sword was less than an inch away from Shiran. Shiran was also very cooperative and closed his eyes. At this moment, she really hopes that Hui's sword can stab her and make this all come to an end. Second brother, no. Everyone present dared not speak and could only stand quietly listening to Hui angrily scolding Shiran. At the moment when Hui took out his sword and pointed it at Shiran, Miaran, Shi, Xiaoyun, Qingfeng, Hufeng, and Xuanji were all frightened by the situation, fearing that Huizhen would be irrational and impulsively thrust towards Shiran. Hufeng and Sun Ji quickly stopped shouting. The patrolling base station worker quickly grabbed second brother's sword-holding hand. Let go. Sun Ji, Yecheng is full of this woman's heart to protect her. Now why do you even have to protect her? Our silly brother is still lying there, not getting up. Second brother, no. Sun Ji shook his head repeatedly, hoping that second brother would not take action. Second brother, calm down and don't be impulsive. Hufeng, please shut up for me. It's none of your business here. Your second brother, I'm very calm now. Fourth brother, please let go of me. Second brother, it's because Yecheng is full of her. If you kill her now, won't your brother's efforts be in vain? Second brother, you don't want to wait for Yecheng to wake up. I know you killed Miss Su and hate you, do you? Hui turned around and glanced at his fifth brother Yecheng lying on the bed, then at Shiran, who was in great pain on the ground. Hui suddenly felt a little soft-hearted, his hand was so relaxed, and the star sword fell to the ground with a clang. Hui was instantly disappointed and helpless. He looked up and seemed to have a twitching smile, saying, ah. That's right. You don't deserve me to personally kill you. I don't want my younger brother to hate me because of you. You, as a woman, have successfully separated the relationship between our brothers. We can't let you die so easily. I want to torture you well and let you taste what it means to be unworthy of life and not to love. Killing you also dirties my sword. If this foolish kid in our family can't wake up, let you live in guilt for the rest of your life. Isn't this more than killing you with a single sword? Interesting speaking, Hui picked up his star sword from the ground and rushed out. Qingfeng saw Hui rushing out and quickly told everyone. Take good care of Miss Su here first, and I'll go see your second brother. After his second sister Law Qingfeng left, Sun Ji squatted down and said to Su Shiran on the ground, Miss Shiran, I'm sorry. My second brother was angry and confused. He said things too seriously. He was careless, and I'll compensate you for it. Shiran collapsed to the ground without any reaction. Until Hufeng also crouched down and said such a thing to her. Shiran's eyes only had a glimmer of light. Miss Su, although I don't know what you're thinking in your heart, I want to tell you something. Fifth brother, he has you in his heart and likes you. He's just because he's been poisoned by ice and fire powder, and he's afraid that if he confesses his feelings to you, he won't be able to be by your side and protect you all the time. He chose to silently hide his feelings for you, enduring the torment brought by ice and fire powder alone. But he wouldn't let us tell you. Perhaps you don't know. His brother has been strong since childhood, but he does everything best and most successfully. Similarly, he never lacks beauty around him. Fifth brother has been meticulous and gentle in his work since childhood, and is good to everyone. Slow-tempered. But even if surrounded by a large group of beautiful women, he, a timeless iron tree, wouldn't be tempted. Whenever I joke about this with him, my brother will definitely chase me down a few streets. And he will continue to chase me relentlessly until the end. Although it's not a real fight, he is definitely the kind of person who never stops. But since I met you, I have been much safer. I also joke about this matter with my fifth brother. Although he is angry, he still favors you. But as a younger brother, I discovered another kind of gentleness in him. He actually didn't hit me anymore, but smiled and said angrily. I can conclude that Wu Gu has met his crush. This person is none other than you, the girl. Brother stubbornly refuses to admit it and cannot let go. So in my heart, Miss Su, you are already my sister. Law. Sister Wu, brother Wu needs you now, and the one he can't trust the most is you. Sister-in-law, you need to cheer up a bit, and we're still here. Yeah, Shiran, cheer up a bit. There won't be anything wrong, and we'll be there. We'll always be with you. Take brother Yecheng into the palace. There's a palace doctor taking care of you. You can let the doctor work together to find a solution. Develop an antidote, maybe things will turn around, and brother Yecheng will be fine. Xu Yan said as she helped Shiran up from the cold ground. Everyone unanimously decided to enter the palace. Qin Feng found Hu Yi by the river and watched him squat alone by the river. Qin Feng walked over and placed his hand on Hu Yi's shoulder. Don't touch me, stinky kid. I don't want you to take care of me. All of you are helping her, it's mine, isn't it? Silly fox, I know you're upset. I'm also upset about what happened at Shuyuan. www.zhaoshuyuan.com. No one wants this. Qin Feng also accompanied Hu Yi and sat down. Hui Hong looked up and saw that it was Qin Feng who was slightly crying and asked, Yuner, why are you? Why can't it be me? Do you only allow this silly fox to cry by the river and not allow me, Yun Qin Feng? Qin Feng looked sincerely into Hu Yi's eyes and met him. Hu Yi looked at Qin Feng gently and said, I'm sorry, Yuner. I shouldn't have hurt you. I was too excited just now. Forgive me, I didn't mean to target you, it was just that I couldn't control my emotions for a while. That's why I lost control of my emotions and yelled at you. Understood, I don't blame you. As far as I know, your brothers are all tough-tongued and soft-hearted, with sharp tongues and heartless hearts. They speak without intention, so I won't take it to heart. If you really mean to blame, my silly fox won't secretly run to the river to cry alone. As Qin Feng spoke, he took Hu Yi into his arms. Upon hearing Qin Feng's words, Hu Yi stood up again and retorted, who went to the river to cry. I didn't do that. Qin Feng glanced at Hu Yi and once again pulled him back into his arms. Okay, calm down. You're not angry, you're not. It's okay if you want to cry. Because I'm a big supporter, you can cry out loud. I'll be with you and listen to you cry, she said softly. Hu Yi leaned against Qin Feng's embrace and said, my daughter is still the best. Then he began to cry uncontrollably. Actually, I don't want to blame anyone, I'm just afraid. I'm afraid I'll lose another younger brother. I've already lost my big brother and third brother. I don't want to lose another fifth brother. Okay, I know. Everyone knows. Be good, little fox. Qin Feng caressed Hu Yi as if soothing a child. No big or small, let me tell you a little secret. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Everyone arrived at the palace. Qin Feng and Hu Yi then arrived. 20 disciples of Yecheng also rushed over one after another upon hearing the news. They are the eldest disciple Yunyu. Second disciple Lu Li Wuza, the 11th disciple. 17 disciples, Kuai Lang. 18 disciples due to appearance. 19 disciples, Konggu, and 20 disciples, a county magistrate lady, Shangguan Daidai. As soon as Kuai-Long arrived at the palace, he urgently asked Hui and the others, "Senior uncle, what's going on here? When we all came down from Fox King Mountain, isn't the master still good? I contacted Big Brother, 11th brother, and 19th brother, and they said that the master became like this because he wanted to save Su Shiran. Didn't she say she wouldn't come down the mountain with us? How could this woman be caught by a monster?" Then Xianlang walked up to Shiran and pushed him to the ground. "Why are you such a woman again? Do you still think you haven't caused enough harm to my master? Why are you everywhere? If you don't take the lead as your first lady, why do you still appear in front of my master? Even if you appear, I have to repeatedly ask my master to take risks to save you. 17 senior brothers, don't do this. Actually, my master also went to save me. It's my fault for not being proficient in learning and being caught by monsters." Shangguan Daidai said. "Junior sister, it's none of your business. I need to talk to this woman carefully. We've been treating her well since we met, treating her like our sister. But she keeps hurting our master. Miss Su, our master also treats you well. Why do you keep hurting him?" At this moment, Shiran does not make any resistance or defense. Sitting upside down on the ground. Qingfeng quickly stopped Xianlang and said, "All right, nephew. Don't scold, your senior uncle has already scolded. Master, don't worry, I need to finish speaking and ask her clearly." Hui stood there without saying a word. After Qingfeng finished persuading him, he suddenly shouted at Wanlong. "Kuai-Long, please shut up. Where should I go and where should I go? Don't cause trouble here. Your master, have you completed the homework assigned to you and mastered the moves? Master, don't you also like her? You haven't finished speaking yet." Lan Lang was puzzled. "I never said I didn't like her. She's not big or small, and you can scold her. It's only me and your fourth senior uncle who have the right to scold her here. If you don't go back to practice soon, your master can't control you now. Don't you listen to even my senior uncle's words. I'll tell you that your master is not here. Senior uncle, you all need to listen to his words. If you don't hurry up and disappear, please." Hui now sees that although Shiran still has some grievances, he is still biased towards Shiran at this moment. "Senior brother 17, you'd better listen to senior uncle's advice and go back. We all guard master here, so don't worry." At the age of 10, Konggu said to Kuai-Long. Kuai-Long looked at Shiran on the ground in disgust and said, "Senior brother, junior brother. Then I'll go back and complete what senior uncle instructed me. Master, remember to let me know if there is any situation." Leaving in a huff of anger. Looking at Shiran on the ground, Hui felt both angry and helpless. "The ground is so cold in winter, can't you still bear to get up? Why sit on the ground? Can you just sit there and not move, and solve the problem?" After Hui said this, Shiran slowly stood up from the ground and walked to sit down in front of Yecheng lying down, his eyes absent-minded. The air was silent, and no one dared to speak. No one knows what will happen next second. Until Hu Feng and Sun Ji came in carrying a bowl of medicine. "Second brother, this is the medicine that fourth brother and I have been studying for a long time and have concocted. I don't know if it's correct for fifth brother's illness. Will there be a miracle?" Hui quickly took the medicine bowl from Hu Feng's hand and said, "It's hard, whether he has miracles or not. Trying is death, not trying is also death. After trying, waiting is not a solution. But now there is a problem. Your fifth brother has been very resistant to drinking medicine since he was young. Except for his mother who can coax him to drink medicine, we want him to drink medicine hard. We use coercion to force him to finish it. In this situation, what should we do? If we want to drink, we may not be able to continue." Just as the Hui brothers were worried, Shiran stood up from the bed and slowly walked over to Hui, saying, "Brother Hui, give me the medicine. I have a solution." Hui skeptically handed the bowl in his hand to Shiran. Shiran returned to the bed and her next move shocked everyone. She took a sip of a bowl of traditional Chinese medicine, then bent down and slowly handed the medicine to Yecheng, who was lying unconscious in bed. Repeated several times, after about 1 cup of tea. This medicine has finally been successfully fed by Shiran. The medicine was given to Yecheng by Shiran. Everyone had nothing to do and left. After everyone left, only Shiran and Yecheng remained in the empty room. Looking for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, Shiran held Yecheng's hand and muttered to himself, speaking from the bottom of his heart. Brother Yecheng, I finally know that your indifference towards me is all for protecting me. Don't sleep, okay? After sleeping for 2 days, it should be enough. Get up and talk to me. I feel safe because I have you by my side. I'll tell you a little secret when you get up. But if you want to lie down, it's okay. It's just because you didn't respond to me when you're lying down, I don't know if you can hear what I'm saying. Actually, I like you, do you know? Why didn't I tell you I like you? It's your fault. You keep telling me that you have a crush. It makes me want to get close but I don't dare to get close. Why didn't you confess to me earlier that you were a monster? We've been together for a long time, and we don't even know what we're thinking. Every time in an emergency, it's you who rushes in front of me, protecting me. This makes my feelings for you more and more complicated. I can't figure it out. At the moment you told me you were a monster, my mind suddenly heated up and I didn't want to hear you explain. I didn't turn around. I was so angry at you and drove you away. You're better off, I didn't even give you a chance. I haven't turned around yet, I figured it out. You left without a trace. Why do you keep your feelings for me in your heart? If I had known you had this kind of mindset, I wouldn't have cared to tell you anything. I also like you. But why didn't you speak earlier? Do I have to be the first girl to speak up about this matter? Or because of saving me, you're poisoned? Are you afraid you won't be able to take care of and protect me by my side? I don't care about that either, do you know? You became like this because you protected me. Without you, there would be no me. In the future, I can take care of you and be by your side if I don't go anywhere. Why are you so foolish and driving me away? But in the end, he had to take a risk to save me. Shiran finished talking to himself by Yecheng's bed and then went to the Thai hospital alone. I don't know if I should hate you or not, what's the use of you? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dr. Zhou, may I ask if Thai hospital currently has alum? Yes, Miss Su. What do you want red alum for? Please explain the purpose so that I can keep a record of it, because the drugs taken from the hospital must be clearly recorded to prevent anyone from overusing them and causing unnecessary trouble. Used for rodent prevention. Okay, girl, wait a moment. Let me take a note first. On the 25th day of February, at 1:15 today, Miss Su Shiran wanted to take red alum to prevent rodents. After recording on the notebook, Dr. Zhou turned around and asked Shiran to retrieve the red alum from the medicine rack. I found that there was only one small bottle left of red alum. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. This red alum is only the last small porcelain bottle left. If you want to prevent rodents, this small bottle is not enough. Miss, why don't you switch to another one? No need, it should be enough. I just occasionally see mice appearing in the corner of my bamboo house. This should be enough to drive away mice. In the evening, Chen came down from Xiefeng Mountain to the palace and saw his beloved little 5 children. Suddenly it turned out like this, and the whole person was dumbfounded. Ask Hui Yiwa, what's going on? Wasn't Yecheng still okay before she went down the mountain? Now. What happened? How did Wuwa in our family become like this? Hui didn't dare to speak, just instinctively looked at Shiran sitting next to Yecheng's bed. Chen glanced at Shiran, who was sitting motionless, and didn't dare to believe that it was the girl in front of him whom he admired who had harmed his most beloved nephew. Chen pulled Hu Yi out and demanded to know the outcome of the whole matter. Hua, tell your uncle the truth. Xiao Wu, what's going on? We have asked him before, but he has never told us before. Now that Xiao Wu is like this, do you still want to keep it from me? Hu Yi knew he couldn't hide it, so he could only truthfully tell Uncle San how his fifth brother had been poisoned. Alas, this child doesn't say anything to us. He hides it in his heart. Even if we know now, what can he do? If this girl weren't for the love of our fifth child, I would have broken her into pieces to relieve my hatred. But our sincere child cares so much about her. I can't hurt her, otherwise she will be sad. Second child, take good care of fifth child first, and third uncle will go back first. Uncle San, you've already arrived. Why are you going back so quickly? Of course, I'll go back and find a way to save Xiao Wu, but I still need to get something down. As night fell, Chen Qing once again descended from Fox King Mountain and arrived at the palace. This time, Chen Qing didn't come empty-handed, but brought a wooden box and placed it on the table. Then Chen Qing said to Shuran sitting next to Yecheng's bed. Miss Su, I don't know what I should say to you now. Because I really don't know if I should hate you or not. This box contains Xiao Wu's worries and secrets. Both good and bad are inside. You can see if our family's Qinghua has anything to say to you. I heard Bai say that Yecheng was very angry at the time and wanted to burn this box. It was Bai Li who advocated leaving the box without authorization. I won't tell you more, and I have to go back and find a way to save our family's Xiao Wu. After speaking, Chen Qing left. Shuran opened the box, which was filled with paper dragonflies of all sizes. Each paper dragonfly in the box is exquisitely folded. At first glance, it is evident that the person folding is very attentive. Shuran picked up a paper dragonfly from the box and opened it. On the paper, it was written. Today I went to play and received a pet that I don't know if it's a dragon or a bug. Shuran dismantled 6 or 7 more in a row. This place used to be very familiar, but now it is very dangerous. My mother is absent-minded, what should I do? My mother has been here for half a month, and my father doesn't come to see her either. Should I forgive my father? The obstacle in my heart cannot be overcome, it's so complicated. But I really want him to accompany me to have a meal. Where is my benefactor sister? I must find her. Why don't you believe me? I didn't kill Xiao Zhu, and in your heart, I'm just not worth your trust. Do I like her? I like it. May I ask if Hu Yecheng has the ability to protect her? No, I can't even afford to worry about myself now, you don't deserve it. This is the 1359th day that my mother was banned. Today, my father came to see my mother. I woke up today. I was pushed into the water by the demon queen in the garden, so scared. Fortunately, my parents are all by my side, and my uncle and brothers are also here. It's great, I'm not afraid anymore. Shuran saw what Yecheng had written on the paper dragonfly, which greatly touched him and made him feel guilty. It turns out that Yecheng had gone through so many childhood experiences. Happy, unhappy. I blame myself for not realizing the feelings of this person who has been by my side for me earlier. Unfortunately, I still don't know how to cherish it, so I have to misunderstand him. Shuran tightly grasped the one with the words written on it. Do I like her? I like it. May I ask if Hu Yecheng has the ability to protect her? No, I can't even afford to worry about myself now. You don't deserve it. The paper was torn apart by a dragonfly. Sister Su, you haven't eaten anything yet. Come over and have some food first, said Yin Rong as he walked over to the master's bed, carrying the food. I'm not hungry, you guys can eat. We have already had our meal, and I brought it specifically for you. I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat. You can put it there for now. Because Rongjian couldn't persuade Xiu, he obediently placed the brought food on the table. Qi Tianyun and Empress Yiguan came to see Yecheng and brought the imperial physician to show him. The imperial physician finished his pulse and his words made the Emperor Qi Tianyun furious. How about finding a book garden at www.zhaoshuyuan.com and finding the Night Qing Immortal? Returning to the Emperor, Yecheng Immortal has been deeply poisoned. Please forgive me for my lack of talent and knowledge, and I am unable to cure him. The poison from Yecheng Immortal has entered the bloodstream and bone marrow, making it difficult for even immortals to detoxify. As ordinary people, we are powerless to return to heaven. Waste. The two immortals, Yecheng and Hu Feng, have shown great kindness to our Yinchi country for saving the country. Now that the immortals are in trouble, it is time for you medical practitioners to repay their kindness, but you say that you cannot cure poison. So what is the use of my hospital? The Emperor calms his anger. I am powerless. The imperial physician knelt down. Seeing the Emperor's anger, Empress Yiguan comforted, the Emperor needs to calm down first. Perhaps we have other ways to save the immortal. Let's all think of ways together, and we will always come up with a solution. Yes, Your Majesty. Don't blame the imperial physician. Master's poison is not something that ordinary people can cure. It requires an antidote. There is no antidote, perhaps only Grandfather Shizu has a solution. Yin Rong explained to the Emperor Qi Tianyun. Since it can't be cured, just get out of here and don't get in my way. Yes, I'm leaving. The imperial physician retired. Shiran sat next to Yecheng and weakly said to Yin Rong, Yiguan, and Emperor Qi Tianyun, let's all leave, don't disturb Yecheng's rest. I'll be here alone, just watch. Let's all go back. Upon hearing this, Yin Rong, Qi Tianyun, and Yiguan silently left. Su Shiran has been guarding by Yecheng's bed. She didn't even take a bite when everyone brought the food. Just quietly guarding by Yecheng's side. Without leaving, when awake, Shiran held Yecheng's hand and said some heartfelt words. When tired, lie on the edge of the bed and squint for a while. 3 or 4 days passed like this, but Shiran didn't eat a bite and slept normally. Shiran fell asleep next to Yecheng again, but this time she had a dream. After encountering a fox in my dream, I had a heart-to-heart conversation, but you still showed off your strength. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shiran knew what was going on, and he arrived at a strange place. Here, smoke and smoke. A woman slowly emerged from the fog. This person is tied in a bun with dark clouds, and on a plump and pure white oval face, his eyebrows are like crescent moon. A plain attire and a gentle and dignified appearance. After walking out of the fog, the woman stood in front of Shiran, her fair face showing a gentle, peaceful, and kind smile towards Shiran. This smile may be light, but it is very beautiful. Shiran approached the person in front of him cautiously and asked, Senior, who are you? Why did you bring me here? May I ask if there is anything I can do? The woman looked at Shiran and smiled, slowly opening her mouth. It doesn't matter who I am. As long as you believe that I have no ill intentions towards you, Mississippi. If you want to know what's going on with my visit, please come with me. Shiran followed the woman with suspicion, and the woman took Shiran into a garden. The woman asked Shiran to sit on the stone drum stool, and she also sat down. Shiran looked at her and stood there without daring to move. Sit down, girl. Don't be so reserved, be polite. Sit down so we can talk to each other. Shiran dared to slowly walk over to the woman and sit down. After both of them sat down, she asked Shiran, Miss, are you familiar with the Fox King Mountain? Faced with a woman's sudden question, Shiran looked around and found that she was familiar with Fox King Mountain. This is the garden on Fox King Mountain. She still lived on this mountain for a while, and when she lived here, she often sat in this garden, daydreaming all day. I can't be unfamiliar with it. At this moment, Shiran looked at the woman in front of him and became even more curious about who she was. After answering the woman's question, he continued to ask a follow-up question. Familiar, I have been staying here for a while. I dare to ask Senior, you are. Why did you take me here? Miss, don't be afraid. I'm here to bring you here. There's no intention of hurting you, I just want to talk to you about my feelings. This is also my home. It's my husband's family, and Hu Yecheng is my son. I just want to ask Miss, do you have any feelings for my fifth son? After listening to the woman's words, Shiran realized that she was the mother of Yecheng and Hu Feng, the queen of the fox tribe, Fu Ying. She remembered the painting she had seen hanging on the wall in Yecheng's heart palace. At that time, Ru Ro herself said that the painting depicted their mother, and the child in her arms was the fifth brother Yecheng. Look at the woman in front of me, she was indeed in the heart palace with me at that time. The woman seen in the portrait looks the same. Senior, I admit that I have intentions towards brother Yecheng. But please forgive me. It's all my fault. Brother Yecheng has devoted himself wholeheartedly to me. It was I who caused him harm that he became what he is now. I can't harm him anymore, even if I have intentions towards him. I don't deserve to have his love. We missed it. Shiran lowered his head in shame as he spoke. Unexpectedly, the Fox Queen did not get angry and blame Shiran because she heard Shiran say that she had harmed her son. Instead, she gently pulled Shiran's hand and gently grasped it. With a serious heart, he said, "Child, you were wrong. It's not your fault, there's no need to blame yourself. I didn't come to you today to blame you for this matter. Since you and our fifth child are both in love, then no one is right or wrong. This is natural, it's fate. There must be a reason why God arranged for you to meet like this. Perhaps this is the disaster that God arranged for my sincere son. As a mother, I don't blame anyone. Child, you know Yecheng's feelings for you. If your heart also has the same feelings for him as you said, you too. Embrace this fate boldly, but there's nothing good about it, child. I can tell that you're a kind-hearted and good girl. Otherwise, when you find out the truth, you won't feel guilty for blaming Yecheng, even if he's sick and lying in bed now. You can still be by his side, never leave, never give up. Girl, do you know why I found you here today?" At this moment, Xiao Yecheng appeared in the sight of the two, and the fox supported Ying, saying, "Xiao Wu, come over." Yecheng heard his mother's call and came towards him. "Mom, what are you asking me for? We have guests at home." "Hello, sister. You're really beautiful. Welcome to my house as a guest. My name is Hu Yecheng. It's an honor to meet you." Shiran was fortunate enough to meet the person who had been guarding him since we met when he was a child. This guy has been polite since he was young and still looks so handsome. No wonder he will grow up to be a humble and polite young master. Shiran smiled as soon as he saw him and said, "Hello, my name is Su Shiran. It's also an honor to meet you. Sister Su, please sit down first and have a good conversation with my mother. I'll go play first. Remember to stay for dinner tonight before leaving." Just as the little guy turned around to go play, Fu Ying stopped him and asked, "Wooer, where is the bell left by the benefactor sister for you?" "Mom, my bell is here." Yecheng took the silver bell from his waist and handed it to his mother. "Xiao Wu, Miss Su came to our place today. Mother didn't prepare any gifts, could you give her your bell?" "No, mother. This is the bell left by my benefactor sister. I will rely on it to find my benefactor and repay him in the future. It is my treasure and cannot be given as a gift." At first glance, the little guy was no longer willing, and Fu Ying didn't force him either. This meant to put it away for him. "Okay, Chenger. We're not angry. If you don't give it away, then don't give it away. Mom will find another way. You're still young, can I put away the bell for you?" Can Mom keep it for you? Upon hearing that he wouldn't give away his own bell, Yecheng didn't think much of agreeing. Ah, then my mother can leave it for me for now. The child has gone to play first, so I'm leaving. After Yecheng left, Fu Ying turned around and handed the bell in her hand to Shiran. Girl, take it. Isn't that good, madam? This is His Highness's property. I can't accept it, young lady. You can accept it, girl. This was originally yours, I was lying to him. Otherwise, he would have thrown it away sooner or later. Speaking of which, Hu Ho helped him up from the stone drum stool and said, speaking of which, my little fifth son is also a poor child. Because it was me, the mother, who caused him trouble. I didn't understand and let go to try to seize a fate that didn't belong to me. My fifth son, who was supposed to be innocent and carefree at the age of 500, had to accompany me through hardships, leaving behind a dark childhood. Miss, you and my son are destined by fate, and I don't want to see my child repeat my mistakes. I hope that my sensible fifth son can be happy and loved. As a mother, I can't be by his side anymore, Mississippi. I beg you not to give up so easily. Miss Yecheng, this child will be entrusted to you. Promise me, will you? Since we love each other, don't give up easily. Hu Ho Fuiying held Shiran's hand with serious eyes and earnestly pleaded with Shiran in a sincere tone. Until Shiran nodded and agreed, the Fox Queen finally let go of the big stone that was worrying about Yecheng in her heart. She breathed a long sigh of relief. Great, I can finally leave with peace of mind. Thank you, girl. I'll leave my sincerity to you. After speaking, the fox turned around and walked towards the smoke, disappearing before Shiran's eyes. Shiran also woke up from his dream. Shiran woke up and found that the bell given to him by the fox in his dream was actually in his hand. She looked around and everything remained unchanged. Subconsciously, he looked again to see if Yecheng was still by his side. Seeing Yecheng still lying in bed, Shiran realized that she was actually dreaming. It was a false alarm. Looking at the bell in her hand, she was puzzled. Is this a dream or is it real? But Shiran didn't have the heart to consider so much, and many doubts only flashed through his mind. Put away the silver bell in your hand directly. After Shiran recovered, Empress Iguan and Empress Yurue walked in with their maids. Shiran saw two empresses coming in and stood up to bow to them. Empress. Miss Su, don't be like this. We're all so familiar now, so don't be so polite all the time. The two of us are here to see the immortal Yecheng. No, we're here specifically to pay your respects. Empress Iguan quickly helped Shiran up. But at the moment Shiran stood up, he suddenly didn't stop, his legs softened, and he almost fell. Fortunately, the Empress and noble consort helped her in time. Miss Shiran, you look so tired that you haven't had a good rest. We've heard that you haven't had a good meal these past few days. The dishes brought by the disciples of the immortal sect and those sent by the palace maids, you didn't take a bite and ask them to take them back. How can this be done? If you don't eat well and take care of yourself while sleeping, how can you take care of your elder brother Yecheng, said the noblewoman Yurue. Thank you very much, Empress Dowager, for your care. I'm fine, I have a good meal and can sleep with peace of mind. If brother Yecheng doesn't wake up for a day, I won't fall down. The noble concubine Yurue angrily said, you see you're still trying to be strong. If you don't eat for the past 3 or 4 days, maybe you can deceive us. It's difficult for you to deceive us again. Look at you. You said you want to eat well and sleep well, but there's not a trace of blood on your face. Empress and I are not blind, we can't see. You can't deceive us. Guifei Yurue said and helped Shiran sit down in a chair. Let someone pass on the imperial physician, someone, send the imperial physician to see Miss Su. Miss Su, what you said doesn't count. It's up to the doctor to say it. After a while, the imperial physician arrived. I see Empress Dowager and Empress Dowager. This is the harem, not the emperor's court. The Chu imperial physician doesn't need to be polite. Miss Su almost fainted just now, and both the palace and the noble consort want to know her physical condition. Could you please ask the imperial physician to take a pulse and see what the situation is? Yes, Empress Dowager. When the imperial physician saw Shuran's pale face, he was truly startled. But it still gave Shuran a pulse. Tai Yi, how is the girl? Returning to the two empresses, Miss Su fainted due to physical exhaustion and lack of proper rest. Miss Su was born weak and did not rest well. She had not eaten for many days, and her physical exhaustion and excessive thinking were the reasons why she was so weak. We need to give Miss Su a good rest, so we can prescribe some conditioning formulas for her to take. Don't bother, it's too medical. I'm fine. No need, Dr. Chu, you can do whatever you want. According to the girl's physical condition, make a prescription to adjust her, don't worry about what she says. If there is anything, the palace and empress will take care of it for you. Yes, I understand. I will go down now and give the girl a prescription. I'm leaving. After the imperial physician stepped down, Yurue said, Miss, how dare you brag and say you're okay? Even the imperial physicians say you're weak and don't rest well. Yuji, go down and have the imperial kitchen stew a bowl of bird's nest for you. About half an hour later, the palace maid of the noble consort, Yuji, brought a bowl of bird's nest. Madam, the bird's nest is here. Yuji brought the bird's nest to the noblewoman Yurue. Yurue picked up the bird's nest and handed it to Shuran. Drink this. No need, Empress Dowager. I'm not hungry, nor do I want to eat. Yurue was really angry. My palace doesn't care if you're hungry or not. Today, you have to eat, and if you don't eat, you have to eat. My palace and sister are here watching the girl drink this bowl of bird's nest, and will go to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Otherwise, we won't leave. If Miss Su really doesn't want to drink, the Empress and I can only personally feed her to drink. Miss, do you drink or don't drink? Okay, I'll drink it, don't bother madam. Under the supervision of the noblewoman and Empress, Shuran reluctantly drank bird's nest and ate something. Is this the good girl? Then let's not disturb the girl. I still need to go back to see my Xingxing in this palace, and my sister needs to go back to see Yuni. Let's leave first. Sister, let's go back. After the Empress and consort left, Shuran dragged her tired body back to Yecheng's bed and sat down on a stool. Looking at Yecheng in front of her, a faint smile forced out of her pale face. Suddenly, Shuran felt the sky and earth spinning in front of him, and he collapsed beside Yecheng's bed. This night is quiet, a long dark night. I don't know how long it has been. On the bed, Yecheng opened his eyes in a daze. He lifted his hand for a moment, but it seemed to have hit something. It turned out that Shuran was lying in front of his bed. Yecheng struggled but carefully climbed up and got out of bed, then gently picked up Shuran who was sleeping next to him. Yecheng no longer had the strength he had before. He picked it up with difficulty but tried to hold Shuran lightly. Finally, he picked it up, but due to exhaustion, Shuran even pressed against his once injured right hand. But in order not to disturb Shuran's rest, Yecheng, despite enduring the pain, still tried to lay Shuran flat on the bed as gently as possible. Then he dragged his pale and exhausted body, thinking that if he died, the farther he would die, the better. The principle of not causing trouble to those around you. But when he walked to the door, he couldn't walk anymore and supported it, thinking that he still had some things to explain. I still need to explain. I worked hard and walked out of the room. Master, don't leave, slowly forget me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yecheng found Emperor Qi Tianyun. Tianyun. The Empress and consort saw Yecheng and said, You finally woke up, immortal. We were just talking about you. That's great, just wake up. Emperor and Empress, I'm here to say goodbye. I'm leaving now. I hope Tianyun can help me tell Hu Feng and the princess. Yecheng, now I don't want to call you immortal. You and Hu Feng have saved lives for me and our Yinchi country. I treat you as my brother. The people of our country are grateful to you, and now that you need help, how can we not see death without rescue? Besides, Holy Master, have you seen our master? We and our senior uncle have searched all over but couldn't find him. Master. Yun Yu, Wu Zhe, Luli, Rang Lang, Yin Rong, Konggu, Shengguan Dai Dai, Princess and his wife, Hu Feng and his wife, and Sun Ji hurriedly rushed into the Xuanhe Hall. When Shengguan Dai Dai rushed in, he was both surprised and delighted to see his master standing in front of him. Brother Wu, you finally woke up so well. Hu Feng. Xuran woke up from his coma and saw that Yecheng was no longer there. He quickly struggled to get up from the bed and stumbled out of the door, dragging his weak body to find Yecheng. Miss, the imperial physician said you are weak. The empress asked you to rest well. Where are you going? The palace maid at the entrance stopped Xuran from leaving. However, Xuran rushed out recklessly. I didn't even care about what the palace maid said. Xuran searched around but did not see the figure of Yecheng. He quickly asked the eunuch and palace maid who was standing guard. Have any of you seen Yecheng become immortal? Do you know where he is? The immortal seems to have woken up and gone to find the emperor. Where is the emperor? The emperor has just stepped down to the Xuanhe Hall, and the empress and empress dowager have also gone to find the emperor. Upon hearing the three words, Xuanhe Hall, Xuran rushed straight to Xuanhe Hall. Brother Wu, are you really leaving again? Stinky kid, what does it mean to have to leave again? Do you only allow yourself and your crush to travel mountains and rivers? Don't let your brother and I travel around the world. As disciples, I have to leave for a period of time. When Master I am not here, remember to listen to Master Uncle's words. Master, don't leave. Master, please don't leave. If you leave, we will really become unwanted children. Well behaved, you've all grown up. Master can't always be by your side. You have the life you deserve. Master, I may come back again. Upon hearing these words, Yecheng's disciples knelt down in front of their master. I hope Master doesn't leave. Master, please don't leave us. It's Master who gave us a home. If you leave, we will become orphans again. We will have no home, we will have no Yecheng big brother, we will have no master. So wherever Master is, we will be. We will follow Master, wherever Master you go, take us, we will follow you. Get up quickly, my good child. Master, stay behind. We will definitely listen to you obediently in the future and never be naughty again. Master, don't leave. Don't leave Kong Kong behind. Are you not leaving Kong Kong anymore? Master, wherever you are going, Kong Kong will also follow you. Take Kong Kong with you. 7-year-old Xiao Konggu heard his master leave and rushed forward to embrace his master's waist, crying and begging him not to leave. Kong Kong is good, Master Xiao Kong is the best. Don't cry. If Master is not by your side in the future, remember to listen to his senior brothers and their words. Promise Master, okay. Be good, don't cry. My Xiao Kong is the best. Yecheng was also reluctant to part with his disciples, as they were all personally raised by him. But at this point, he had no choice but to leave because he was forced to do so, because he didn't want to see things getting worse. He saw the person he least wanted to see and shed tears for himself. I already owe her and don't want to owe more. Before she appeared, she left cruelly, hoping that time could dilute everything and alleviate the harm she had caused during this period. Brother Wu, can you please don't leave? Stay, your disciples need you, and we also need you. We hope to stay. Besides, what will Miss Su do if you leave? Hu Feng watched as his nephews couldn't bear to leave their master, and similarly, Hu Feng couldn't bear to see his brother leave. Just try to persuade brother Wu to stay and not leave. Second brother, silly little brother, I'm not here. Take good care of yourself. As for not being with me, she might have been better off. My departure made her think that she was in my heart, and that I hated her. It was I who hated her that left. Time may heal everything. Let her slowly forget me, slowly forget that I hate her. Do you just hate me that much? Xiuran heard these words outside the door and burst into tears, shouting loudly at the room. Then he ran out crying. Shuyi, Xiuran. The princess chased after her. The crowd also chased out upon seeing this. Sister Su. Only Emperor Qi Tianyun, Empress Yi Guan, Empress Yurui, and the weak and powerless Yecheng stood there in a daze in the room. Qi Tianyun said, Yecheng, hurry up and go out and take a look too. Don't let anything really happen. Yecheng finally realized and followed the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Xiuran cried and ran to the edge of a cliff, and everyone chased after him. Xiuran, don't be impulsive and don't do foolish things. Don't come over, go away. Don't care about me. Don't come over. Dodge, step back. Xiuran, crying in despair, took out a small porcelain bottle from his arms. Okay, let's dodge and not get close to you. However, don't come. Let's talk slowly if there's anything we need to say. Everyone panicked when they saw Xiuran pull out a bottle of poison, afraid that she would do something foolish. They had originally planned to come forward together and pull her back from the edge of the cliff. But now they can only disperse and comfort Xiuran, thinking of taking the poison from her hand. Miss Su, don't do anything foolish. Look, we all listen to you. We've dispersed. Come back quickly and put down what you're holding. Sun Ji. No. I don't have much thought left. Don't worry about me, just let me die. Xiuran shook her head and cried as she spoke. At this moment, Yecheng flew a lightness skill in front of everyone and Xiuran. Using magic, he snatched the poison bottle from Xiuran's hand. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief when they saw the bottle and held it in Yecheng's hand. Xiuran saw that the red alum in his hand had been snatched away, so he turned around without hesitation and wanted to jump off the cliff behind him. Su Xiuran. Yecheng, with a pale and extremely weak face, let out a hoarse shout. Xiuran turned around, but there were crystal clear tears in his eyes, with despair in his eyes. At this moment, the air and time seemed to have solidified. She stared at Yecheng for a while, then wanted to turn around and jump off the cliff. Su Xiuran, I didn't hate you. I like you because I didn't dare to face my own heart. It's not your fault. I really like you, Hu Yecheng. In the next life, if you come to find me, come back to life. You are listening at novelfull.audio. My benefactor sister, I have finally found you. I have been searching for more than 120,000 years, and the Emperor has finally let me find you. But at the same time, the heavens let me find you, and at the same time, they played a big joke on me. I have been searching in the mortal world for many years. I thought I would never find you again in this life, but God made me meet you unconsciously. Can I have a different feeling when I am with you? Unfortunately, I have been suppressing my feelings for you. I believe that I have not found my benefactor sister yet, and a sincere benefactor sister who wants to repay me with all her love. To repay the kindness of the fairy sister who sacrificed her life to save her life. Don't be tempted by other girls. Do you know that I went to rob Wang Moran's sedan chair, but he said you voluntarily married him. My heart was broken at that time. In a fit of anger, I left. It took me 4 or 5 years to come back. When I came back, I thought I understood my feelings for you. Unexpectedly, Jin Xian returned to your side, and he became the successful top scholar. This made me feel that I, as a monster, am not worthy of you. That's why I made up my mind to leave you again. I returned to Xiefeng Mountain and thought for a long time, finally recognizing my heart again. But at this moment, the poison in my body suddenly erupted again. I just once again pushed you away. The journey of repaying kindness is also too long, with twists and turns. I have been looking for you for so long, wasting so much precious time with you. We have no chance in this life. In the next life, I must find you early. Cherish every moment with you. No, in the next life, you'll come find me instead, okay? Because I have been searching for too long in this lifetime, wasting too much time. Shiran looked at Yecheng with tears on his face, and a hint of a smile appeared on his lips. It turns out it's not just my wishful thinking. The person I've fallen in love with also has me in their heart, and I'm satisfied with it. Shiran faced the cliff again. No, that's right. You're not wishful thinking. I hurt you, and the responsibility lies with me. Su Shiran, if you come to find me in the next life, you must remember to come to me earlier and not make me wait too long. But if you don't want to be moved, wait for me in one place and I will come to you, so that we can meet earlier. Because I really can't hold on to this life anymore. I'm too tired, my heart is tired. May we meet earlier in the next life. Brothers, I'm sorry, take care. Saying Yecheng's action shocked everyone. Brother, don't. He pulled open the cork of the small porcelain bottle containing red alum. I ate a whole bottle of red alum in my hand. Finally, he collapsed with a smile and revealed his true identity. Master. At the moment when Yecheng fell to the ground, Shiran Xian was startled and her pupils dilated. Rushing towards the fallen little fox, ah! Don't! Yecheng! Then he hugged the original beige fox Yecheng in his arms. The whole person sat frozen there, motionless. Tears flowed uncontrollably down both sides of her colorless cheeks. Hui, I had anticipated such a result for a long time. Looking at the woman lying on the ground holding her brother in her arms, then look at her heartbroken expression. Unexpectedly, the words reached the noisy eye and couldn't be spoken even at the mouth. Even a word of blame had no strength to speak out, and Hui could only turn around with red eyes. Qing Feng watched as Hui held his hand like this, and Hui kept shaking his head. Hu Feng embraced Miao Ran in his arms, and the two of them leaned their heads against each other. Sun Ji looked at everyone in such a state that he didn't know what to do while standing still. Yecheng's disciples saw that the master had gone. They all cried bitterly, holding each other and comforting each other. Senior brother, master. Senior sister, master has left. Master doesn't want us anymore. I want master. Little junior brother, be good. You still have senior brothers and sisters here. Master, I finally found you again. I just started my apprenticeship. I haven't learned anything from you yet, and you haven't taught me anything yet. How could you just leave like this? Shangguan Dai Dai looked at his master and burst into tears. Xianlang said, Miss Su, please return our master to us. When our master was here, you didn't cherish him well. Now that he has left, it's useless for you to occupy him. Please return our master to us. Xianlang walked towards Shiran while speaking, hoping to retrieve their master from Shiran's hands. Unexpectedly, Shiran let out a hoarse roar and said, Don't come over, neither of you come over. Don't disturb us. A man named Kuailang was stunned by a weak woman named Shiran and stood still, afraid to move. No one dared to speak in this situation, only Hui choked up and said to Luanlang, come back and don't worry. Since the situation is already like this, let her regret it later. Shiran, the six gods sat motionless on the ground. Hugging the little fox in his arms, Yecheng, and gently caressing the fox in his arms. Her tears also dripped onto the fox. She recalled the moments when she met Yecheng, filled with laughter and joy. And there was also a small episode of her time living in the snow-capped mountains, and she was only one last time away from Yecheng's wedding. This scene is filled with the laughter and joy of Yecheng, as well as the scenes of sadness and tears, all of which come to mind one by one. Thinking of this, Chiron slowly got up from the ground, lost in his soul, and stumbled towards the edge of the cliff again. I gazed at the distant scenery and turned to look at the motionless fox on the ground. Feeling ridiculous. I thought to myself, this life has made you wait for me for too long, it's my fault. You waited for me for so long, and it's not easy for you to find me. I misunderstood you. In the next life, I won't let you wait for me alone for so long. Since you love me in this life, I also love you. But fate won't let us be together. Let you leave me first. Let me live alone for a lifetime. It's better to end the days without you earlier, otherwise I will make you wait for me even longer. So I came to find you, accompany you. Soon, you are waiting for me. Then he jumped off the cliff with a smile on his face. Don't. Wu Zhe rushed out upon seeing the situation and followed Chiron as he jumped off the cliff, trying to catch Chiron. Miss Su, Yunyu, Luli, Shengwan Daidai, Konggu, Inrong, and others saw their senior brother/junior brother jumping off the cliff with Miss Su and shouting together, junior brother/11th senior brother. This was so urgent that Inrong almost jumped off the cliff to find Wu Zhe. If it weren't for bringing myself to realize that the cliff was too high, I wouldn't dare to jump off. She turned around and hurriedly asked her senior brother, what should we do here? Senior brother 11, there won't be anything wrong with Miss Chiron or them, will there? No, let's go down there and take a look. Yunyu took his junior brother and junior sister. Go down from the other side to the bottom of the cliff to find Wu Zhe and Chiron. This frightened Princess Shi, holding her husband Xiaoyun and asking, Xiao, how could this happen? What should we do? Xiaoyun hugged Shi and comforted her, looking for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Not afraid. It's okay, nothing will happen. Although Princess Dingning has fought on the battlefield, she is a capricious fairy of heaven. But her heart was kind, and she would also feel scared when she saw this scene. At this moment, Sun Ji, who had been quiet all along, walked up to Fox Yecheng and waved his sleeve. A few small dots appeared above Yecheng, floating above him. Yecheng transformed from a fox back into a human form. Then Sun Ji took out a pill and fed it to Yecheng. After a while, Yecheng gradually woke up and got up from the ground. Seeing fourth brother still in front of him, he asked, Fourth brother, didn't I go to the underworld? Why did you come too? Silly kid, are you just dying like that? You're still alive, in the mortal world. It's Sherbua. Sun Ji lifted his younger brother Yecheng from the ground. Yecheng's face also returned to its original state. Hu Yi was shocked, wondering where his younger brother could come back to life. Since the master has medicine, why was it earlier? What's going on, fourth brother? Second brother, I'll talk to you in detail later. Fool, you finally woke up and scared us to death. We really thought you. Do you know how many tears we cried for you? Miss Su, she also. Please shut up, princess. Shi accused Yecheng of just rising from the dead and being evaded by Sun Ji. Fifth brother, you're doing well. But there are two pieces of bad news for you. One is that Miss Su jumped off a cliff for you. The other is that your beloved disciple also jumped off with Miss Su. Upon hearing this, Yecheng jumped off the cliff, not circling from above to below. I don't know if he jumped down for his disciple or for Su Chiron. Why did all this happen? It's because. As long as it's okay, the tea house has been cleared twice. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Hu Feng has found his lover in his past life, the wonderful Ran in this life. The two of them work together to achieve success. As an older brother, Yecheng naturally felt happy for Hu Feng. Yecheng also came to the human world, and at this moment he felt that the world was indeed quite good. Just enjoy the beautiful scenery while walking. He suddenly heard a voice. Don't come over. Yecheng looked for fame and saw a man in the distance, covered in thick flesh, who was planning to have an affair with a woman. Yecheng walked straight over and knocked the Han down to the ground 3 times, 5 out of 2. The person saw this situation and got up from the ground and ran away. Miss, are you okay? It's okay, thank you very much for your help, young master. It's okay. Miss, you're welcome. After speaking, the two did not have much communication. Yecheng turned around and left. Yecheng came to the tea house to drink tea, which was filled with people. Business is booming. This tea house is called Suixiang Tower. In fact, Quixianglu is not a simple tea house. This is a charming place with a tea house and fireworks display. The landlady here is an extremely greedy person. She watches the people coming and going in the tea house, mixed with good and bad. Buy some poor homeless or abducted girls to do business for her. On weekdays, these girls play the piano and sing music for the guests who come to the tea house to drink tea. When there is work to do, the landlady will let the girls work. At this moment, a girl on stage was playing the pipa. Her fingers skillfully flicked back and forth between the pipa. The melody of the pipa is sometimes as lively as 100 birds singing, and sometimes with ups and downs, making people intoxicated. At this moment, a male guest from the audience said to the woman playing the pipa on stage, Miss Choshue, come down. The girl from the center of the stage stopped at the words. Putting down the pipa in his hand, he walked downstairs to the guest and said, May I ask if there is anything I can do? Seeing the girl standing in front of him, the male guest's face showed a lewd smile and he said, What else can I do, Miss Choshue? Then he took the girl's hand. Choshue quickly withdrew his hand from this person's hand. And he replied, Please show some respect. But men still tug and tug at the autumn water. In a moment of urgency, Choshue slapped the guest out of a sense of self-protection. This slap angered the guest, and he shouted, Boss. The landlady flashed as soon as she heard someone shouting. Master, what do you have to do and what instructions do you have? Said with a smile, She hit me in the autumn water. Oh my, sir. I'm really sorry, I'm sorry, please calm down. After flattering, the boss angrily asked Choshue, how can you start hitting customers? Choshue calmly explained, Mom, it was he who disrespected me just now that I started hitting him. You know, I only sell my skills and not my body. Then you shouldn't hit the customer yourself. Hurry up and compensate this gentleman. Choshue glanced at the landlady and the customer, and the landlady said to them, Choshue, what are you still doing? Why don't you apologize to someone quickly? I'm sorry, sir. I shouldn't have hit you earlier, which was a lot of offense. But what I want to tell you is that the little girl's apology is a gesture of disrespect towards the little girl. I hope you will be more careful next time and don't do this again. Don't mention Choshue, I'm just selling myself, and even if it's selling myself, I won't accept guests like you. Listening to such words, the male guest felt humiliated. Raise your hand to play autumn water. Yecheng saw this scene next to him and grabbed the man's hand, saying, Why should this big brother get angry over such a small matter? Small matter. She hit me. If you get hit, it's also called a small matter. If that's the case, I'll give you a try. Brother, why did Miss Choshue hit you? I'm sure you know very well. It was you who was pulling and arguing with the other girl just now that she hit you. We all watched. So what? What do you want me to do? The guest spoke with a hint of anger. Yecheng smiled apologetically and said, I don't want to do anything to you. I'm just being fair. After hearing Yecheng's words, the person replied angrily, Then don't meddle in your affairs. Get out of my way and don't interfere with me. The landlady is afraid that the guests will cause trouble when she sees the situation is not good. Quickly please the angry male guest, Master, calm down. I just want to find a beautiful woman to accompany me. We don't have just one girl here, besides autumn water. We also have spring mist, summer dew, winter frost, little peach blossom, and other girls here. Although they are not as good as our top aunt autumn water, the three girls in spring, summer, and winter are also the pillars of our place. Their beauty and appearance are not inferior to autumn water. I will call them out to you, Grandpa. Let them serve you well. Spring mist, summer dew, and winter frost, come out quickly and serve me, said the landlady, calling out spring mist, summer dew, and winter frost. I saw three women walking out one after another from behind the curtain. Two of the three girls were dressed in heavy makeup and showcased their beauty. There was only one little girl who looked a bit innocent and plain in her attire, still in her 20s and 13 years old. They all walked out in a row and said, "Mom, I don't know what you're calling us for." "Sir, look for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. These are the three other girls in our 4 seasons of spring, summer, autumn, and winter, besides Qiushui girl. They also have good looks. Today, let these 3 girls take good care of me. You 3 should treat me well." "Boss, are you just trying to please me like this? Is it that easy for me to deal with? I'm not going to eat your tricks." The male customer was not satisfied with the boss's handling method. "What exactly do you want, sir?" The male guest pointed at Qiushui angrily and said, "I want her to apologize to me." The landlady looked at Qiushui, feeling a bit embarrassed. On the side, Yecheng said, "Brother, in my opinion, let's just forget about this matter. The girl apologized just now, so don't let this small matter ruin everyone's interest in drinking tea. Besides, it's also big brother. If you're wrong first, let's make it small. Let's make it small. Yeah, let's forget it. Don't ruin everyone's fun." Yecheng's words were recognized by everyone present, and the man did not want to provoke public anger in front of everyone. Unable to say anything more, he angrily left the restaurant. The spring mist, summer dew, and winter frost also dispersed separately. At this moment, Qiushui said to the landlady, "Mom, this young master is my friend. Can I invite him upstairs to sit down and chat?" Upon hearing Miss Qiushui's words, Yecheng was surprised. The landlady looked at Qiushui and then at Yecheng, hesitated for a moment, and agreed. "Okay, then you can chat, but not for too long." After the landlady left, Qiushui asked Yecheng, "Young master, can I clean up and sit upstairs? Let's have a chat." Yecheng hesitated for a moment, but seeing Qiushui's sincere gaze, he still agreed to the girl's request. "It doesn't matter what you call, it won't do anything to me." You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yecheng followed the autumn water upstairs and entered the autumn water room. A circular table in the room is covered with a bean green tablecloth. There are neatly arranged teapots and cups on top. In front of the table is a pearl curtain. Inside the bead curtain is an orange gauze bed, with a mirror table next to it. Autumn water made Yecheng sit down. "Young master, please sit down." Autumn water poured tea for Yecheng, and then sat opposite him. "May I ask your name and surname, young master?" "I am Hu Yecheng." "So it's Mr. Hu?" Yecheng asked in confusion, "Miss Qiushui, I don't know why you came to me. If you have any discomfort and need Hu's help, but it doesn't matter." "Thank you for your kindness, young master. It's nothing serious. It's just that young master who helped Qiushui clear the siege twice today, which left Qiushui unsure of how to repay him." Qiushui said gratefully. "It's just a matter of lifting a finger. Miss, there's no need to put it on top. I just have a sentence below. I don't know if it's appropriate to ask, Mississippi." "Young master, please speak up. Miss, this is the land of fireworks. It's so dangerous for you to stay in this place full of fish and dragons. Why don't you leave here? What's the hidden danger? Qiushui did not directly answer Yecheng's question. But instead, he got up and walked to the door to take a look, then closed the door. Return to your own position. Yecheng saw the expression on Qiushui's face and said, if the girl doesn't want to say anything, let's just pretend that who is talkative. Don't take it to heart, girl. How could that be? The young master has helped me before. If the young master wants to hear, I will definitely let him know. I'm just afraid of the young master and don't want to listen to the young woman. If the girl is willing to say something, of course I'm all ears. Upon hearing his benefactor's words, Qiushui began to talk about his experience. My family was originally in Suzhou, but due to the decline of our family in the passing of our parents, I came to Chang'an City alone. However, I was alone and had no relatives or support in Chang'an. Helpless, I had to come to this Zuixiang Tower to perform. Yecheng couldn't help but tremble after hearing about the experience of Qiushui. He felt that this girl was really not easy. I feel pity for the experience of autumn water. He said, the girl said that she has no relatives or support. If she doesn't mind, I want to make friends with her. I wonder if she is willing to do so. Really? Autumn water was both surprised and delighted after hearing Yecheng's words. Yecheng smiled and nodded. Qiushui looked at Yecheng with a serious smile and said, of course I am willing. Anong has been helpful to me, and now I am grateful that Anong does not mind being friends with Qiushui. How could Qiushui refuse? Miss Qiushui, don't call me so kind and respectful. I don't sound too used to it. Others don't know, and they thought I had a great deal of kindness towards you. Just call my name. How dare I directly call you, Ngong, by name? Since the young master doesn't want me to call you, Ngong, I will call you, Yecheng de Gu, in the future. You don't want to be a girl either. If you call me, Qiushui, why don't you just call me, Yecheng de Gu. Yecheng smiled and said, okay, let's call Miss Qiushui whatever she likes. It doesn't matter what the name is except for Ngong. Qiushui smiled. Then Yecheng continued, it's getting late too. Then I'll leave first. Yecheng opened the door and left. Qiushui walked to the door and looked at Yecheng's distant figure, smiling slightly. The sky is filled with white clouds, the mountains are dotted with pine and cypress trees, peach blossoms are slightly blooming, and a gentle breeze is blowing. The thatched bamboo house blends with nature. Miao Ran, Bu Feng, Wu Ying, and Yun Lu sat together in the small courtyard of the bamboo house fence, chatting. Miss, are you not going back to the general's mansion? I haven't seen you mention it these days. Returning to the general's mansion. That's too far, isn't it? Is Chang'an City not good? It's pretty good here, why should I go back? Are you homesick, little girl? Miss, I've been with you since I was young, and your home is my home. I'm not talking about going back to the general's mansion in Changzhou. I'm talking about going back to the general's mansion in Chang'an City. Miss, you can come back and accompany me, okay? You and your uncle have been living in your cabin for so long. That's enough. Come back and accompany me, my good sister. Yun Lu held Miao Ran's hand. Wu Ying smiled and said, Miss Miaoran and our young master are inseparable and will never leave each other. If you leave one day, even if you search the ends of the earth, you will still find the girl. If you want to accompany me, I will also accompany my young master, so it is impossible for you to accompany Yun Lu back to the general's mansion. As for you, I will be enough to accompany you. You stink beautiful, who let you accompany? Yun Lu hit Wu Ying's shoulder lightly. Why are you hitting me? I'm telling the truth, right? Miss Miaoran. Miao Ran didn't answer Wu Ying's words, just lowered her head and smiled slightly. At this moment, Hu Feng got up from his seat and walked towards Wu Ying. Wu Ying suddenly stood up and turned around abruptly. Yunlu asked, "What are you doing?" "I feel quite cold." "Cold? The sky is clear for thousands of miles. There is neither wind nor rain, how could it be cold?" Yunlu expressed confusion in front of Wu Ying's answer. Hu Feng stood not far from Wu Ying and looked at him like this, smiling and asking, "Wu Ying, why are you sitting well? Why are you running?" "Young master, I was wrong. I won't dare again next time." Hu Feng approached step by step, while Wu Ying kept retreating. "Say what you just said again." "I said that the young master has too much affection for Miss Miaoran and cannot bear to leave her. The two of them are inseparable. Wu Ying is seeking survival through cracks, deliberately amplifying the sound. You're so invisible. You're getting more and more reckless when looking for Shuyuan. www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Look at how I'll clean up you today. Stop and don't run." Seeing the situation without a trace, he ran around the yard, with Hu Feng chasing after him. Shadowless ran and begged for mercy. "Young master, I won't dare again next time." Wu Ying deliberately ran to the table next to Miaoran, and Hu Feng also stopped chasing. In a commanding tone, he said to Wu Ying, "Sit down for me." Shadowless yet deliberately rebellious, insisting on standing. But she was pulled by her wife Yunlu and sat on the stool. "Just sit down for me obediently." Hu Feng returned to his seat and Miao Ran said to him, "Husband. Forget it, it's not a big deal either. Don't be scared out of nowhere." Hu Feng said seriously, "I didn't scare him, he committed the following offense." Unexpectedly, Wu Ying smiled and said, "It's okay, Miss Miaoran. Don't worry. Young master, he won't do anything to me." Upon hearing these words, Hu Feng stood up. He replied, "Really? See how I deal with you." Speaking, Hu Feng walked to the peach blossom tree and stood for a while. "And lift your hand to pick a peach leaf. Play with it." Wu Ying also stood up and left her position. This time, Wu Ying decided to take action, but suddenly a leaf flew in and he flipped and grabbed the flying leaf. "Auntie, what are you doing? If you hurt our family without a trace, I have nothing to do with you." Yunlu said rudely to Hu Feng. Miao Ran looked at Yunlu's anxious expression and walked over to her husband Hu Feng with a smile. "Hu Feng, stop making trouble. Look at my good sister, she's all anxious." "I didn't make a fuss," Hu Feng didn't explain to his wife Miao Ran. Just two people looked at each other and laughed. Miao Ran knew that Hu Feng was just joking. Hu Feng also knew that Miao Ran understood what he was doing without explanation. Because they share the same heart. We have each other, and true feelings are difficult to control. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yunlu said, "Are you still laughing? Uncle told you, if you really hurt our family, I'm really not polite to you." "It's not a joke, I'll keep my word." "It's okay," Wu Ying said calmly. Slowly unfolding his palm, he saw the peach leaf thrown at him by Hu Feng lying quietly in his hand. Hu Feng couldn't help but exclaim in admiration as he saw Wu Ying catching his peach leaf, "Sure, not bad." Wu Ying heard the young master praise her and said with a little pride, "Of course. I've been with the young master for so long. I can't say I know all of your martial arts moves, but without further ado, I've at least mastered 1.3. You are the second person who can catch the leaves I throw out. The first person is young Master Aoi, my good nephew, isn't he? How did you know that it would be this little doll, not anyone else?" Wu Ying smiled and said to Hu Feng, "Today I'll tell you two secrets. You ask me why I know the first person who can catch you and throw out a leaf is my little nephew. That's because when you were teaching him, I also secretly learned something from him. Another reason is because I understand you. Then I'll tell you a secret too. You're the first person who dares to be so reckless in front of me and talk to me like that. You can't blame me for this." Who makes us good friends and confidants. That's why I know you like the back of my hand. What's going on with you guys? Yunlu looked at Hu Feng and Wu Ying, sometimes fighting openly and secretly, and sometimes chatting and laughing. Wu Ying looked at Yunlu's anxious and puzzled expression. I couldn't help but laugh and say, I want to joke with the young master and see his reaction. I didn't expect you to be in a hurry. Okay, you dare to lie to me. Yunlu chased after Wu Ying and wanted to fight. I didn't lie to you, madam. You didn't understand the situation yourself and were in a hurry, Wu Ying explained as she ran. Hu Feng Mioran watched from the side and laughed, with happy laughter rippling in this beautiful spring. What are you laughing at? Let's laugh and join in the fun. At the sound, everyone's laughter abruptly came to an end. A woman wearing a purple and emerald patterned skirt and a tall man in black walked in. Princess, why are you here? Yunlu. Qi Shi smiled and said, we're here to join in the fun. What are you doing? You're laughing so happily. Mioran glanced at Yunlu and smiled. Shi looked at Mioran's appearance and pulled Mioran and Yunlu to sit on the steps of the bamboo house. Smiling, sister, what are you laughing about, Yunlu? Can you tell me? Mioran and Yunlu looked at Shi's curious expression, and a happy smile appeared on their faces. And the three men of Xiaoyun, Wu Ying, and Hu Feng sat together. Wu Ying said, Brother Xiao, why did you come? Shi said she was feeling bored in the palace and asked me to accompany her around the city. Sisters, why are you smiling at me? Yunlu, please tell me. Yunlu didn't answer, just smiled slightly at the princess. Shi was a bit angry and felt inexplicable. She stood up and walked to Xiaoyun's side, pulling Xiaoyun to leave. Xiaoyun asked in confusion, didn't you say you wanted to come? Why did you have to go back so soon? What happened? I was chatting well with Wu Ying. Aren't you talking to the princess and them? Where did all these questions come from? If you want to go back, go back. What's wrong, who made you angry? What are we talking about? They've been sitting there staring at me with silly smiles. Shi turned around and saw Miao Ran and Yunlu walking over. Miaoran looked at Shi and smiled again. Shi, well, that's it. They don't know what they're thinking either. Xiaoyun, princess, why are you laughing? Miao Ran, I laughed at the princess for being foolish. Sister, it's you and Yunlu who have been giggling foolishly all the time, why do you call me stupid instead? What do you usually do with Xiaoyun? Miaoran still smiled and pulled Shi over to ask, what else can we do? We usually ride horses in the suburbs when we have nothing to do. Put on a disguise and go shopping in Chang'an City together. Or appreciate flowers in the imperial palace, Shi said, glancing at her husband's husband, Brother Xiao, you and the princess are quite comfortable and at ease, Wu Ying joked with a smile at Xiaoyun. Xiaoyun smiled happily in response to Wu Ying's teasing, I've gone from being a guard that the princess dislikes to a son-in-law that the princess clings to all day. It's really a bit uncomfortable. Upon hearing this, Shi finally understood what Miao Ran and Yunlu were laughing at. They smile as if they share the same heart as the one they love. Knowing what the other person is thinking. We have each other in our hearts. As long as the other party has everything they have done with them in their hearts, even small things are enough to laugh for a long time. My princess is just clinging to you. If you're not used to it, you have to get used to it, because without my princess's consent, you can't leave. So you have to let me stick to you for the rest of my life, Shi said to Xiaoyun. Saying this, Shi took Xiaoyun's arm and leaned her head against his shoulder. Xiaoyun looked at the Princess Shugui lovingly, well, since my Royal Highness Princess has given me an order, I have to obey. But Xiaoyun suddenly felt a lot of pain in his arm because Shi had hit his arrow injury, so he covered his arm. Are you injured again? Why are you so careless? You don't know it's dangerous on the battlefield. Do you need to protect yourself? Let me see if the injury is serious or not. Shi blamed with heartache while also wanting to see Xiaoyun's injury. Xiaoyun smiled helplessly and said, "It's okay, it's just a minor injury. There's no one who doesn't get hurt when going to the battlefield. It's just that 1,000 secrets are still exposed. It seems that I need to go back and talk to the emperor." Xiaoyun asked with confusion, "I'm injured. What are you going to say to the emperor?" When the emperor's brother says there is a war, you take the initiative to ask for orders. Of course, I want to go and tell the emperor's brother that you are not allowed to ask for orders in the future. That's not possible. It's natural for me, a 7-foot-tall man, to defend our country. What's a slight injury? Besides, the emperor can't listen to you. Xiaoyun smiled faintly. So you'll see if the emperor listens to me or not. There was a hint of princess's domineering and confident tone in Shi's words. What does this have to do with whether I can go to the battlefield or not? Why don't you let me go? Xiaoyun couldn't understand. Because of heartache. With the 4 words of Shi, the two of them looked at each other affectionately. They seemed to have forgotten that Hu Feng, Wu Ying, Miao Ran, and Yun Lu were still watching from the side. At this moment, Wu Ying took Yun Lu's hand and looked at her with the same deep affection, saying, "The young master and Miss Miaoran are inseparable, and the princess adheres to her husband. It seems that the two of us are more normal and tolerant of each other. In my opinion, neither of you is normal." Yecheng came in from outside and looked for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Xu Yan said to Yecheng as he walked in, "Yecheng, big brother, one day you will understand. This is normal. Now you feel strange because you haven't really met your destined goddess yet. I don't understand your world of you, me. But it's not abnormal for someone to be inseparable, someone to stick to each other, someone to tolerate each other, and always show affection by the side of others. What is it?" Yecheng walked in and headed straight for the tea on the table. He sat down, poured tea, and drank tea in one go. "No, it's just that the timing hasn't arrived yet. As soon as the timing arrives, you naturally understand. This is called true love, difficult to control." Princess Shi. After hearing these words, Yecheng's tea almost spurted out, "Sixth brother, you look like a girl from our family, you're just as good as anyone else." Hu Feng smiled and said, "Yes, it looks quite similar. But I think this girl is also right. By the way, Brother Wu, are you here for something? It's okay if I have something to do. I'm just a idle cloud and wild crane, I can't understand your world. Now it's my turn to have something to do, I'll go first. By the way, this tea is good." After listening to his younger brother's words, Yecheng dared not stay with these people any longer, fearing that he might catch fire later. "I only took a sip of tea and drank it. I quickly found an excuse to leave." As Yecheng hurriedly fled, everyone burst out laughing. The sun is gradually westward. The light of the setting sun reddened the clouds in the sky. A golden sunset fills the sky. Yecheng returned to his residence and felt quite bored, so he decided to go and see fourth brother's Taolin. He can also play chess with fourth brother and drink peach blossom jade dew wine from the peach blossom forest, which is fourth brother's treasure. Don't drink for free. Thinking about Yecheng setting off for fourth brother's peach blossom forest. However, something big happened at Suixiang Tower.